because it's more than just putting the kids with the bag. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was just a kid with the bag, that's bad enough that you didn't see anything wrong with that. But okay, like, all right, maybe this person's an idiot, whatever. But then you look at all the other things in the pictures, in all the pictures, they got fucking chokers, they got fucking all just stuff that, everything, listen, everything placed in that picture is placed there specifically for a reason. What's up, baby? Welcome back to another episode of Rated G with Gary G. Garcia and Brian Licata. It's your boys once again, Gary G. Garcia, along with my partner in misinformation, Brian Licata.
What is up, people? I'm here in my mother's basement. As you can tell.
In the mom's basement. He's back in the mother's basement.
I asked my dad.
But not for good, people. He's just there visiting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just here for the holidays. Just want to catch up with the fam and enjoy.
Make it clear that you didn't get kicked out with a dog. Just to get this out the way real quick, man. Today's show is brought to you by Apollo Bud out in Astoria, Queens, New York. We want to get this out the way. Astoria, Queens, New York. Go check out Apollo Bud for some of the best variations of marijuana. And they got everything there going on, man. They got edibles. They got some shroom chocolate bars that I was actually munching on last night that were delicious. And when you're done getting your fill and getting nice and high, go get yourself a game of XXX Playground. It's the perfect gift for the holiday season. XXX Playground. Give it to someone you love. It's the best adult communication tool ever. Did I say ever? Ever. Go check it out and go get fist deep in someone you love. XXX Playground.
And after you're done playing XXX Playground and you want to cool off with a nice, refreshing drink, doesn't matter if it's a coffee, it's a water, it doesn't matter. But what is universally true, it will taste better out of your Rated G quote mug, available now on enditwasgood.net/shop.
We would not steer you wrong, man. We get the money for that. So if you want to support the crew and you want to support what we do, go cop a mug, man, and help us out. Makes the perfect Christmas gift. Speaking of Christmas, my daughter got me a little treat. She wanted to bring some Christmas cheer into my home. So I got my tree in the back over there. Big up to my daughter, Jasmine.
Pew, 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 pew.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, and shout out to my boy Jay Wood over at enditwasgood.net. He's got a bunch of cool shit going on over there.
Yeah, big up to him. Pew, 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 pew. All right, baby. Before we get into it, man, how was your visit so far? How you been doing? You've been out here. I didn't see you all week, man. How you doing?
It's good, man. I've been busy, obviously. I'm seeing family. Running around. I went to the Russell Peters show last night too. That I was hoping you were gonna be able to make it, but it was last minute. I didn't think so.
Yeah,
it would have been fun to go, but I rolled with my cousin. I got the tickets through Rinaldi got them, and his baby got sick. So fortunately for me, his daughter.
Rinaldi's figuring out the things of life right now. You make plans and kids change them. Yeah, that's what happens, man.
But yeah, it was a good show. I mean, dude, to be honest with you, I want to just jump right into this shit, bro. Balenciaga, what the fuck is going on?
Balenciaga.
Let's just do it, dude.
Let's just get into it, man. Everyone's talking about it. We've been talking about it for the longest. Not just Balenciaga, but we've been talking about this whole thing of sexualizing children and how these fucking elite motherfuckers is just completely horrible people. If you haven't been watching our podcast, or you haven't, if you had your head in the fucking sand, Balenciaga released. We'll start at the beginning. They released their December photo shoot.
Ad campaign. Yeah.
Ad campaign yep, for their stuffed bear bags. And they took a bunch of pictures with a bunch of little children with these stuffed bear bags that are in S&M gear, along with a bunch of S&M shit all over the place, and then they came out with another campaign ad right after that for a bag that they do with Adidas. And in that photo shoot, they show a decision from the court dealing with child.
Yeah, don't say the last word. Don't say the last
CP.
Word.
That's
CP.
what we're allowed to say.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Ridiculous.
And I know, bro, but it's fucked up, right?
It's ridiculous. So you can't say child porn. which I just said, but you can't say it now. Now it's what? Who are we defending? Who is it that we're looking out for here that we can't say that? We can't call it what it is, but whatever. All right. So we're showing a big verdict on the CP. That
So
was in the
now,
picture.
to get down to the verdict, basically what it was this guy who had lewd pictures of his daughter, right?
Yeah.
But it was basically saying that because they weren't sexualized, it isn't considered CP, right? And
Yeah.
that was a landmark case because it then set up, I don't know what the right word for it is. I guess like a pretense. That's not the right word
Yes.
though. Yeah, I guess like a
Yeah. It sets the standard,
sets the
basically.
standard. Yeah. There's a
Basically,
legal
that's what it does because you're able to use that case in other cases
as reference, right?
as
Right.
reference.
Yep. And that's
Yeah.
why Roe v. Wade getting overturned. That's why people cared
So,
about that same thing.
so the question quickly just became, why, why would you use children in an ad campaign like this? And why would you have in the very next ad campaign, paperwork that deals with CP? Why? What's the story with all this? Just
Arguably in support of it also.
arguably in support of it. Now, the question just becomes why. Now they came out and they apologized for it. They wiped out all their pictures and shit on Instagram.
From everything.
From everything. All this shit
Everything,
is
all
wiped
of it,
out
gone.
except for their apology, which they claim they didn't know what was going on.
And now let's first just cut the shit. Just
Well,
just straight up, right? Like one, they tried to blame the photographer, right?
yes.
And the photographer isn't the art director. The
No.
photographer lights the scene and takes the photos. They
Mhm.
show up. And on a
They
big
show up.
and on a big thing like this, they're just showing up to the to the shoot,
Yep. And it goes down to what I said before, like even with the 6 feet apart stickers, these things aren't made overnight. These
Right.
things go back and forth, especially when it comes to releasing, an ad campaign. They go over it. You take a million pictures. I used to sit, and I got to tell you something, man. I worked in children's clothes, and I used to be very upset. And I would say to the owner about the way they treated the children that were there. To they call them child models, but the truth is they're children.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The parents are the ones that are making them go out there and work. I adopt the child's like, mommy, I want to go out there and be a model. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to say some kids don't enjoy it, but the ones who enjoy it are horrible kids. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to sit there and watch these kids 5, 6, 7 years old telling their parents how it was going to go, and then they would have these kids changing, right? Like in the sales room. Bunch of kids running around their drawers, changing like it's nothing. And meanwhile, you got people working in the office, walking right through. I was very disturbed by that. But anyway, so they said they didn't know, what was going on. Now they want to sue the photographer. Now, all right, so now you take it into the next thing, right? Oh, and they did another ad campaign where, in the same ad campaign, there's one picture that we didn't talk about with a little boy holding the bag, but not holding the bag. The bag's all the way on the side. But then in the picture, they got all kinds of satanic and like they got the tape all over a chair, like the warning tape when there's a crime scene.
Yes.
And it says Balenciaga.
Yeah, I'll pull it up. I'll pull up a breakdown. But go ahead. You want to keep explaining?
Yeah, well, it says Balenciaga on the tape that's wrapped around the chair. But then if you look on the floor, there's another roll of the same tape, but it's not the same tape because it says Balenciaga, but it says it with 2 A's. Bal, who, you could bring up who Bal is. You know what I'm saying? He's some demonic god.
Yeah, here,
also
I'm
known.
gonna pull up a little
What was
video.
the other name?
I'd sent this to you earlier. I got this from a friend.
Oh, I watched the whole thing.
Yeah, shout out to my boy who sent that in. I don't think he wants me to name his name, but he's a fan and a supporter of the message.
Yeah, so there's Bale, and so on the picture, it has it says Balenciaga, but it has 2 A's.
Here, you want to roll it? Yeah.
And that's another questionable thing. Like why? You know, like I'm not going to put the pieces together. I'll let you put the pieces together. I'm not going to make any accusations. I'm just going to say what it is. So in that picture, they have Balenciaga spelled with 2 A's and an L, which is Baal. And in the picture, all you see is the Baal. That's all you see in the picture. So once again, like, you know, and we know that these satanic bastards like to throw little things to put in our face. I mean, they went a little too far. They were a little too blatant this time, and they got, you know, they're hearing some things about it. But what's crazy, and there's so many crazy things because it just gets deeper and deeper. Then it comes down to, okay, so then someone went and they looked up the word Balenciaga, right? And when you look up Ba, it comes back Ba. When you look up Lenci, it comes back Lenci, and Aga comes back Aga. There's no Latin translation for that. But if you put in Balenciaga, it comes back as do what you want. And if anybody doesn't know, the satanic commandment, the first satanic commandment is do as thou willest, do what you want, you know, to something like to the completion of the law or something like that. But it's do what you want, basically, which is the number one commandment of Satanism. So when you put in Balenciaga, it comes up, do what you want. Then it gets deeper. And when it gives you the translation, it says do what you want. Even when you do the bell. So now here it is. You put in Balenciaga, which was on the tape. This is what was on that tape. The translation comes up to Baal is king. Now, once again, that's not a Latin word.
Yeah,
it's not a Latin word.
Translate from Northern Soho.
Yeah. Wings and Siaga. But once again, that's not a Latin word. So when you put it from Latin, it comes up Baal is king. Now, if you notice something, when you put in the regular Balenciaga without the 2 A's, right, it comes up with do what you want, right?
Yeah, actually, I had trouble getting anything.
You gotta separate it. You gotta put Ba dash Lenci dash Aga. No, Lenci. And then Aga.
Huh.
From Latin. Which once again, not a Latin word. I don't know why that's coming up different now for some reason, but it was coming up where it said,
I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, you saw it. It said do what you want. Now they could have changed that by now because people caught on to it. But there's no reason it should say that. It's a little weird. And then you put in Balenciaga and it says Baal is king. Now the other one that says do what you want, it all comes out in lowercase letters. But when you do the Balenciaga, Baal comes out with a capital B, with like respect to Baal. Once again, you what was that? Balenci, Baal of the Lord. It's just Balenci. And once again, these aren't Latin words. So it says Baal is king with a capital B. Now, I mean, once again, it's weird. They could claim they know nothing about that one. They could say, you know, with that one, they could sit there and say, we have no idea why that's coming up. You know, okay. All right. But then you go a little deeper. You go a little deeper because then they did that ad with right after the ad with the right after they did the ad with the children, they did the ad with the bag. But then they got some other pictures.
With who too, bro? Let's talk about that.
Oh, with the chick?
No. Who was it co-branded with?
Adidas. Yeah, Adidas. And in these pictures, there's adult women sitting in like business offices. But if you look at the books, that are in the picture, this one book is from this author who also wrote a book about children called Something of Fire. What was it called?
Oh, yeah. Do you want me to roll this one video right here that
Yeah.
I got? Yeah, because there's a bunch of stuff that you're talking about that I think our viewers would probably be interested in seeing.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because when you look at the people now who they got working for them, because then it gets, like I said, it gets deeper. Then you look at like the photographers, you look at their directors that they got, you look at the people that they got working for them, and these people are all basic Satanists. You go on their pages, which have now been privatized. Before they weren't,
And
now
a lot
they
of the
are.
same imagery that we saw when we were looking up the pizza place.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to bring that up because we already know what happened the last time we even brought up PG.
Famine. In times of great turbulence, human sacrifices, particularly children, were made to this deity. The Carthaginians didn't want to sacrifice their own children, so eventually they began buying children or raising children as servants to be sacrificed in their own children's place. The mass ritualistic sacrifice of children to Baal was once thought to be a rumor, started by the Roman soldiers in order to make their enemies seem barbaric and cruel. According to the rumors, the children's ashen remains would be placed in small special urns and buried in the funerary Acropolis. However, during recent excavations, a great number of small urns were found covering the area of the funerary Acropolis, buried at 9 different levels, seemingly proving the early existence of Baal worship. To summarize, it's a bizarre inclusion.
Go a little forward in this, because this is all describing, Baal. There it is. There's the picture we were talking about. I'll let them point it out.
Area of the funerary Acropolis, buried at 9 different levels, seemingly proving the early existence of Baal worship. To summarize, it's a bizarre inclusion in the same image as a young child. Up on the wall, to the left of the child, we can see a red face. Some theorists were quick to compare this face to the mythical rumored contents of a certain misplaced laptop. We aren't going there, for obvious reasons, but the blood-red face still seems to...
And this
there
is
it is, Fire from the Sun.
This is that artist that you were talking about.
That's the book, yeah. That's the book that's in the picture. And this dude, Michael Borum, was the author of that book. And he also did this book, Fire from the Sun. And in this book, it's just a bunch of pictures of toddlers with like blood all over them. And, they're all naked and shit. And they call this shit art.
And do you remember how this dude is connected? Like, is he connected to the photographer? Or
well, he's connected because he's in the pictures with the bag. He's one of the authors of the books that they put there. One of the books. I think the book actually might be that book, if I'm correct. And then there's another book there that's, deals with a whole bunch of CP as well. I hate having to say CP.
I know, bro.
It's freaking ridiculous. We got to get on Rumble. Because it's completely ridiculous that like I'm over here censoring myself to defend.
No, you're right, bro. Yeah, you want to? We can switch platforms.
I'm censoring myself to defend.
We'll do it today, bro. I'll switch platforms tonight.
Who the fuck am I defending?
Next episode, dude. That's it. We'll switch.
The peas, because I'm not allowed to say that either now. That's who I'm defending. People, what is this world that we're living in, man? We're not even gonna be able to call murderers anymore. You know what I'm saying? We have to say for the M. He committed an M.
Well, they could be maps, dude. They could be murder adjusted persons.
It's to a point of ridiculous. And like I said, even this. Then you look at like this chick that used to work for them. That she was their
Lindsay.
Yeah, man. It's all
Russian.
satanic imagery. It's all crazy shit. And you sit there and you go, what the fuck is going on? Now, it's not even what the fuck is going on. It's the thing of I've known forever, and everyone pretty much knows forever that this goes on. And this goes on in Hollywood like you wouldn't believe. And it goes on with the elites. And like I said, I always used to say, I know they're out there. They hunt bums. They do all kinds of crazy shit. These are people with fucking with money to burn. They don't know what to do with themselves. You know what I'm saying? And, and then there was another one that they did like a couple of years back where in the picture was a passport. I forgot to what country it was, but it's one of these countries where, anything goes. And then it was on top of a Disney cruise pamphlet. And Disney cruise.
This is that part that the guy's about to go into. You want to watch it?
Yeah, put it on, man. Put it on. I
Watch
don't want y'all thinking I just come up with this shit out of my head, man. I mean, I watch a lot of things. These are, once again,
we have another odd drawing, this one again featuring the red face, or some kind of demonic horned creature. Then we have the white rabbit.
The white rabbit.
And right above the white rabbit, we can observe probably the most overt example. But what does it all mean? These images feel off for obvious reasons. Some would look right past them, but many people immediately felt as though...
What gets me too is that they say they were put in what some people are labeling as BDSM gear. No, we're not labeling it that. That's what it is.
What do you mean? You read that somewhere? That's
In their apology. See if you can get up their apology. I want you to see the wording in their apology, yo. They say what some have deemed, like they say what some have deemed it's S&M gear, yo. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. It's dominatrix gear. That's what it is. That's not any other type of gear. You don't buy that at Old Navy. You know what I'm saying? It's not a top you're gonna get at Gap. At least not yet. At least not yet. That's what you get at that place where I get my T-shirts in the back. What's that place where I go and I get all my T-shirts at? That's in all the malls. Fucking where they sell like cups and mugs and all kinds of goth shit.
Like Hot Topic.
And then the back Hot Topic. Picture me going to Spencer's.
Spencer's.
No, not Spencer's. Is it Spencer's? Is that the name of it?
Spencer's Gifts, yeah.
No, not Spencer's. Shit, I forgot the name, but they got like T-shirts in the front. In the middle, they got all kinds of earrings and shit like that. And then in the back, they got porn. They got like all the shit that the kids, all the outfits and shit like that, and whips and whatever, ball gags.
What you wanted?
Spencer's, I think it is, maybe. New Control.
From Balenciaga? No?
Balenciaga wrote
I'm sorry.
An apology. Put in Balenciaga's apology. Yeah, we're going to stay on this topic for a second, man. Fuck these people, man. With their ugly ass clothes. Making clothes people can't even fucking wear. I don't even get this shit, man. Fucking weirdos. I can't believe it's hard for you to find it. Why would it be so hard to find? They want the apology out there. Just put in Balenciaga apology for 2022.
Yeah,
thing,
but
and then go to images.
Well, you
know what I'm saying? Don't look for a site. Just go to images. There'll be a screenshot of it up there, man. But they put out an apology that this all went out without their fucking, what's that one right there? I think that's the one you just showed me. Oh, all right. Yeah.
Okay.
This is it.
Personal message. This is from Demna, who's like their art director. I want to personally apologize for the wrong artistic choice of concept for the gifting campaign with the kids, and I take my responsibility. It was inappropriate to have kids promote objects that had nothing to do with them. As much as I would sometimes like to provoke a thought through my work, I would never have an intention to do that with such an awful subject as child abuse that I condemn, period. You need to learn from this, listen, and engage with child protection organizations to know I can contribute and help on this terrible subject. I apologize to anyone offended by the visuals, and Balenciaga is guaranteed that adequate measures will be taken not only to avoid similar mistakes in the future, but also to take accountability in protecting child welfare in every way we can.
And that is complete garbage, what they're saying right there. Because it's more than just putting the kids with the bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it was just a kid with the bag, that's bad enough that you didn't see anything wrong with that. But okay, like, all right, maybe this person's an idiot, whatever. But then you look at all the other things in the pictures, and all the pictures, they got fucking chokers. They got fucking all just stuff that, everything placed in that picture is placed there specifically for a reason. It's not by chance. They don't just go around grabbing stuff and throwing it in there to make the no. They know exactly what they're putting in there, and they know the reasons they're putting it in there. Every single thing. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that ain't a fluke. So you take even if you take the bag out the picture, why is the kid in that picture with all that shit around them? What would be the purpose? And then, all right, go into that thing, because they talk about what I was going to talk about with Disney and how their cruise line used to stop at a certain island. That was one of their stops. At a certain island that used to be owned by a certain person.
Maybe, by taking a look at some of the key players, we can get a better idea of what the intentions behind the photo shoots were. The first person Balenciaga began to shift the blame to was the gift shop photographer, Gabriel Galimberti. The photographer actually made a public statement to the media on November 23rd. Galimberti told Newsweek he is not responsible for the images. Quote, I am not in
You're
a
trying to throw
position
him
to
under the
comment.
bus.
I am not in a position to comment on Balenciaga's choices, but I must stress that I was not entitled in whatsoever manner to neither choose the products, nor the models, nor the combination of the same. As a photographer,
All right, pause that
I was
1 second though. First of all, these are pictures from his book. That was a picture from his book, that little girl with the Barbie dolls, because he did some book where it's, you know, kids with their toys. But even that picture looks a little weird, man. You know what I'm saying? And what is with all these people just wanting to take pictures of kids? And here's the thing. They're trying to throw him under the bus as being the thing, and he's saying I had nothing to do with it. But he knew what he was taking pictures of.
Correct.
He didn't go there and go, yo, guys, what the fuck is this?
I would have been out, bro.
You know, he didn't go there and go, what the fuck is this? What are you guys doing? Why do you got me taking pictures of children with teddy bears, you know, in fucking BDSM gear? Why? You know, he still took the pictures. So you're not completely off the hook, dog. And then we look at some of your books, no doubt. I mean, you could say they're innocent because they're not doing anything sexual in them, you know. But you could also say, if we go back and you look at that picture, you could also say that
weird, bro. It's weird.
That
it's
if you're a P, that
you would love these photos.
That you would love those photos.
Yeah. And
who's buying those? Who's buying that book of a bunch of kids with their toys taking pictures? Who's buying that book? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who is buying that book? What adult is going, oh, I want to own a book with a bunch of children in front of their toys? I just want to know, and for what purpose? Oh, I just like looking at pictures of little children. What? I just don't see. The corona crease starts to pop out when we have conversations like this, man. When we have conversations like this. But yeah, go ahead. Go back onto that. I mean, we could fast forward that a little. Well, no, go back onto that. Let's look at the people that are fucking involved in this shit. We got time. I got nowhere to go. Let's look at the people who are involved in this shit.
I'm home. All I got is some cookies coming to me later, you know.
There you go, man.
You know, I'm chilling.
There you go.
I'm chilling with the chickens. Oh, hey, Mr. Boots.
They're chilling with the chickens. Yeah. Which is why I stopped
only and solely requested to light the given scene and take shots according to my signature style.
You know, like, all right, nothing wrong with these pictures in a general sense, but who would buy this?
This one on the right, dude. This reminds me of you.
The one on the left is a little. I don't even want to look at it. The one on the right, yeah. I mean, it's just like who.
Do you remember that? You remember that documentary with the Indian people in Oregon, Wild Wild Country?
Yeah,
I'm getting a lot of Wild Wild Country cult stuff from this.
Well, this is all definitely cult shit, man.
As usual, the direction of the campaign and of the shooting are not on the hands of the photographer, end quote. Galimberti previously published a photo collection titled Toy Stories that feature children in their home surrounded by their toys. He added to his statement, quote, I suspect that any person prone to pedophilia searches on the web and has unfortunately a too easy access to images completely different than mine, absolutely explicit in their awful content. Lynchings.
And all right, you got to look at something from a photographic standpoint. These are exactly the same. So this guy saying he had nothing to do with it, he set those scenes up. Look at how everything is laid out.
Well, he said he said that they wanted him to shoot in his style.
Right.
So that's his style.
So he did, bro. So he did. He set the stuff up. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's his style.
Well, they had the stuff there, and he just basically placed the kids where he wanted them, but they wanted it in his style.
But that's
supposedly this is supposed to be like, he takes a picture with the kids because, you know, I looked a little. Takes a picture with the kids with their favorite possessions, and of course, since they're little kids, their favorite possessions are mostly toys, and these would be their favorite possessions.
These are addressed against the wrong.
These pictures. You want to own a book with these pictures?
I don't even want to look at them, bro. I don't even really want to have them on the show.
I know, like, and like I said, face value, nothing wrong with those two pictures, but I mean, but why? That's the question. Why?
They don't look happy either, bro.
No, none of the kids look happy in those pictures.
And they look like they're shot in
Would you be happy if you just had a bunch of fingers in your poopy hole? No. Would you be smiling after that? After they... You wouldn't be smiling after that. You know, this is where it pays to be an ugly baby, an ugly kid. You know, I was an ugly child, man. I never had to worry about shit like this, man. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wanted me, baby. Straight up.
on targets and distract from the real problem and criminals, end quote. Galimberti also stressed that he was not involved in the Balenciaga.
Go back a little bit to what he said. Go back just a couple things.
Things like these.
Anyone who's into, and they blur it, but right here.
Searches on the web and has unfortunately a too easy access to images completely different than mine, absolutely explicit in their awful content. Lynchings like these are addressed against the wrong targets and distract from the real problem and criminals, end quote. Galimberti
so also that he knows that anyone who's into that can go online and easily find shit that and he goes that are different than these. Yeah, those are illegal. Yours are legal. So they'll grab yours and put those all on their fucking thing. And those are the ones they'll take, my man. So stop acting like you don't know that there's some CPs out there who will take your pictures. Those are the people who are buying your book, dog. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want pictures like that. For what? Go ahead. Your hair standing higher and higher as we continue this fucking podcast.
Can you see this?
Yeah.
You can see it?
Yeah, I can see it. You just got to go full screen and push play. I'm not seeing anything now.
Oh, you don't see anything?
It's frozen. Yeah, it's just frozen on that dude. But I mean, like I said, man, and the dude's trying to say, like, listen, dude, you're not off the hook. You're not off the hook. I don't think they should throw him under the bus because, yes, he had no say over to what he was going to film. Or, what he was going to take pictures of, and they wanted him to do it in his nice, do it in your, your nice CP style that you do. That's what we want. We want you to do it in your CP style. Fuck out of here with that shit, man. Ain't no kids buying Balenciaga. So why do you even have kids in your fucking thing? Do they even have children's clothes? Do they even make children's clothes? I don't think they make children's clothes. I think all this shit's adult clothing. I don't even know you'd be able to find it on their website now. They probably shut down their website.
Yeah, I'm on their website. It's just men and women.
Yeah, they don't do children's shit. So what the fuck you got children in your shit for? You don't do children's shit. Who are you catering to? Aren't companies supposed to cater to the people they sell to?
Well, they're trying to cater to people.
So with that said, maybe they are catering to the people they sell to. I'm just making an observation, people. That's all. I'm just saying that, normally companies cater to the people that are their clientele. They're putting out little children shit. They don't sell children clothing. Who are their clientele? I'm just throwing the shit out there. You make your own conclusions. You come to your own conclusions. Let's carry on, shall we? Do this. This is the happy podcast that I've been wanting to do.
Address the backlash to his advertisement.
Oh wait, go back a little bit because we got to see who he is. This is the other guy.
Distract from the real problem and criminals, end quote. Galimberti also stressed that he was not involved in the Balenciaga Adidas campaign that included the Supreme Court ruling and the art books. Those images were captured by New York City-based photographer Chris Maggio. At the time of recording this video, Maggio has not publicly addressed the backlash to his advertisements. But who is Maggio? Curious Light on Twitter found Maggio through Galimberti's mention of him, and found this photo shoot he did that features a young girl in similar framing to the gift shop photos, a woman with an uncanny valley look, and a picture of a Czech passport on top of a Disney Cruise Line pamphlet. According to some of their old itineraries, Disney Cruises used to use Little St. James Island.
Here we go.
All right, let's read this, right? This is allegedly something from
Captain Nautica's snorkeling expedition.
Yeah. Be whisked away aboard the Captain Rib Power boat to a pair of sun-soaked snorkeling sites and prepare for an adventure like no other. Journey to picturesque Turtle Cove, Buck Island, and immerse yourself in an underwater wonderland, where you're invited to swim and snorkel amongst a school of sea turtles for approximately 1 hour. Afterward, make your way to a second snorkel stop, Little St. James Island, where curious fish dart back and forth in the clear blue water and colorful coral formations nestle next to an amazing underwater formations. Afterward, enjoy a beverage and a snack before making your way back to St. Thomas Harbor.
So for my listeners who don't know, St. James Island is the same island, right? Am I correct? The same island Jeffrey Epstein, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Once again, I'm just putting the information out there. You draw your own conclusions. But it's not odd that Disney would pop up in this. You know, you can't get a good CP story without Disney popping up. You got to have a little Disney in that, right?
All right, so I'm just going. This is from Women's Health Mag. Where is Epstein's Island? Everything to know about Little St. James,
Little St.
Jeffrey
James.
Epstein's private island.
And now it's a private island. It was so nice of him to open it up for Disney to let them come out there. It's so nice of him.
Jeffrey Epstein, the former financier, convicted of sex offender, owned properties, blah, blah, blah. But he also owned 2 of his own private islands in the U.S. Virgin Islands, Little St. James and Great St. James, the first of which became notorious as Epstein Island. Little St. James became the place where he took young girls and sexually abused them, along with his ex-girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah, man. Peter Pan used to take the kids there. Yeah, I just find it a little weird, man, that Disney would. Well, I don't find it weird that Disney would make the stop there because, like I said, you can't get a good CP story without, Disney popping up somewhere in the mix. You know what I'm saying? They always got to have their little toe in the water. Always got to have their toe in the water. So where are we? Are we ready to go back as we look into the beautiful people that work with this company and that they hire to take their photos? Because you got to see, here's the thing. How did they pick this person? When they pick a photographer, right? They're going to look at the photographer's work. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, on the lowest level, I worked for children's clothing on a very small level. But whenever we got a photographer, they look at the photographer's work. And when you look at these photographers' work, their work is creepy. And it all involves little kids. And it all involves blood and kids being dismembered. And, that them little dolls of little kids with genitalia on their face called fuck face. Like, these are the people that they associate with and that they have no problem hiring to do shit. Where you at, baby? I see you kind of losing it over here. What's going on with you on your end? Because I know you're not listening to me. We're not. You're lost in there. So come on. What are you seeing?
I was digging in to try to find out how many kids have gone missing on Disney cruises throughout the years.
They're not going to give you any kind. Did you find anything? I couldn't even see you finding anything on that. I couldn't see you finding anything.
So far, what I've found is the number of people who've gone missing on cruise ships, passengers and crews overboard, and Disney only reported 2.
Of course.
But
well, Disney has a thing where they don't allow no one to die in their park. If you die in Disney's park, they're removing you the fuck out of there before they call anybody. And they're putting you off their property before they call. They're like a nightclub. They're like a nightclub. They're no different than when I was, in that nightclub and it was that shootout and they just took the kid and threw him in the alleyway and then called the cops and then called the ambulances. They don't want them on their property. So they have a whole thing of no deaths on their property. Look it up. Look how many deaths at Disney World. How many deaths reported at Disney World? I think it's going to be like 1, like maybe 1 or 2 got out that they couldn't keep. But for the most part, they're known for no deaths at Disney World. Look it up.
So far, I got 63.
63?
Yeah.
And that's what, in the history?
Yeah.
How long has it been around? How long has Disney World been
64.
around?
1964.
So how many years is that?
Almost 60.
60 years. So that's what, one a year. In a place that's got mad people going there, old people, all kinds of shit. And 1 person a year. How convenient. Let's get back to
11 million people, bro.
What happened?
11
million people a year. once again, I'm just putting this stuff out there, man. You guys make what you want of it, man. I'm sure a lot of you will make nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back to what we're talking about. Let's not step on. Let's try to stay focused this time, man. I'm always all over the place.
You want to go back to the video?
Yeah, let's go back to that video, man. Look at the people that work here, man. Look at the people that are working for them.
As a snorkeling stop. During their search into the details of this photo set, Curious Light found that the photos had been styled by Lada Volkova, one of Balenciaga's main stylists, since 2014. Volkova maintained close ties to Gosha Rubchinsky.
We've definitely talked about her before, bro. On something else, because I know that photo of her.
I think
we've seen her before.
I think when we talked about PG. I think I'd have to go back to that. PG is so fucking crazy. But yeah, it's so crazy, people. The things we got to do to try to fucking just be able to give information. But definitely we've heard of her. But I mean, just look at her. You know, just look at her. Why would you? From my understanding now, people, when they hire someone, they also look at their social media, if I'm correct, right? They do that a lot, businesses. I would think a business like this, for sure, looks at your social media, you know, and her social media is crazy, crazy. Why would you hire that person? Why would you? All right, let's go back. Let's continue. Let's continue, man. I'm just saying, look at the chick, man. Look at her. It's demonic. What is their obsession with children and blood? Go ahead. Well, I know the obsession.
A streetwear designer that allegedly pressured a 16-year-old minor to send lewd pictures of himself over Instagram. The accusations seem to have been lost in the fray, as Gosha's representative told GQ he often casts young men through Instagram DMs, which according to him is standard. Volkova claims to not have worked closely with Balenciaga for some time, but has also said she works with the brand as a consultant, styling for collections, fashion shows, and in casting. Her style seems to be centered around...
Go back to that picture. Go back to that picture. Could you imagine...
As a consultant...
Could you imagine going on a date with this chick? First date ever. You look over and she looks at you like that. She looks demonic. Look at those eyes. Look at her biting into the head of that fish. Probably still had its eyes in there, man. She's gross. Go ahead.
Collections, fashion shows.
I would jet if I saw that across the fucking table. That would be the same reaction. Like I said, if my kid ever gave me those shooter eyes, you know, like if he ever fucking said, "Good night, daddy, I love you," with those shooter eyes, we're killing this motherfucker tonight. Once he falls asleep, we're smothering him with the pillow for society. This chick looks demonic. I would walk the fuck out. I'd walk the fuck out, leave her with the bill, too. I'd say, I'm going to go use the bathroom. Climb out the fucking window on that fucking bitch. That's terrifying.
Pro move to do that.
She fucking sends chills up my spine. She looks like a fucking demon. Go ahead.
Very scary.
Ugh. Fucking horrible. Look at that face.
Casting. Her style seems to be centered around violence, abuse, and domination, usually featuring very young-looking boys. Like when she posted pictures of a juvenile detention facility, and then what appeared to be real blood on the floor.
What?
Or what is obviously a young girl's bedroom, completely torn apart and covered in bloodstains. A completely photorealistic full frontal of a young boy who has been
These are from my
disemboweled.
Instagram.
A young girl who has been taped to a chair,
What does that look
or
like to you,
an
bro?
illustration of someone taped face down on a table. Volkova also heavily features teddy bears, including one in bondage ropes. She even posted this image with the
Look at that
hashtag Moloch. A picture
Muff diving.
Moloch?
shared by Volkova depicts a monstrous...
This is her page. You know, there's a saying that says you are known by the company you keep. Right? Why would they hire this person? What is this? And here's the thing, like, I don't give a fuck. Their clothes are, the clothes are horrible. I would never even spend the outlandish prices that it's not even, like, to me, this is a nothing fucking company. Like, that makes billions off of fucking whatever, idiots. But why would you hire that? Obviously you hire that because you're cool with that. So one thing we can say for sure, because I said I'm not going to make no assumptions over anything, but this isn't really an assumption. We could say this for sure. They have no problem working with people that have no problem, or better yet, find it artistic when they see babies and toddlers and young children covered in blood and disemboweled and being around S&M shit. They have no problem with people who have no problem, who not no problem, but who consider that art. Let's continue. You look like my boy when we were tripping one time and this kid was telling a horrible, horrible story in front of us. And I said, am I the only one that sees this dude getting more evil as he speaks? And then I looked to the left and you look just like my boy. He had a cover up over his face and I didn't even know where he got the cover from. There was no cover there before, but I look at him, he's looking at this dude tell the story and he's like this. And I'm like, oh no, he sees it too. This dude is getting more evil as he speaks.
A process of consuming a girl. Another image features a creepy, dark, moldy room with a goat head on an upside-down pentagram. The common theme is seemingly constantly a child in danger, distress, or pain. She even posts an image that represents the brain's activity during a pain response. She pretty openly posts images of bathhouses, which are commonly used as brothels. One user speculates that she may be bringing these young boys to these locations. Just 2 hours after Curious Light posted the thread about Volkova, her Instagram went private. Granted, if you began receiving a litany of comments and DMs regarding a potentially career-ending scandal, you may act drastically as well. But there's something about Balenciaga and Volkova deleting their entire social media presences that screams they didn't find it all, get rid of any chance they might. Lada Volkova released a statement claiming
sorry. That's their sorry right there.
Right.
Yeah,
she has not worked with Balenciaga since 2017 and had nothing to do with the latest campaigns, but she has maintained a close relationship.
We want to make one thing clear. She had nothing to do with this latest campaign. That is clear. I want to make that clear that chick had nothing to do with this campaign. She worked with them in 2016. She said was the last that she worked with them, but she's also on as an advisor. But either way, she worked with them. Why are you working? Why would you employ people like this? That I don't know. It's a question I'm asking. Go ahead. But I just wanted to make that clear. She didn't work on this thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry we're stressing you.
Relationship with Demna, the creative director at Balenciaga. Demna once said in an interview with GQ, someone wrote that Lada, Gosha, and I grew up on CP and radiation from Chernobyl, which is why we're all so fucked up. Just a month before the public backlash,
it's funny because they didn't blur out
the brand's popularity as well as his own, saying that he's no longer interested in making the fashion industry understand him because the fashion elite now say hi to him. Jane Mosley walked Demna's first Balenciaga fashion show, which also happened to be Jane's first fashion show. But how could she possibly get the gig? Modeling for the iconic brand Balenciaga with zero experience. Jane got the gig through her friend, photographer, and casting agent Rachel Chandler. When Jane casually mentioned to Rachel that she was kind of interested in getting into modeling, Rachel replied immediately, telling Jane to send her some pictures because she was going to put her up for something. That something would turn out to be Demna's first Balenciaga fashion show. Rachel Chandler, daughter of the Chandler family that owned the LA Times for 100 years, apparently holds some mighty influence in the fashion industry, and it's heavily rumored that Rachel narrowly avoided being named publicly in the Ghislaine Maxwell trial as another madam, or procurer of young men and women, even children, to take to Little St. James Island. Here's a photo of Chandler, underage at the time, allegedly on the Lolita Express, Epstein's infamous private jet with former President Bill Clinton. Rachel seems to hold a high profile among the rich and famous, but is rather unknown among the general population. Many theorists have speculated that she may have led some to the island through her modeling agency, the Midland Agency. And if I wasn't paranoid enough, during my search for more mainstream...
Look at those pictures, man. It's like, what the fuck? What's going on with these people, man? Like, what the fuck? Look at that child. What the fuck? Picture it. Nobody, the fact that we have to talk about this now, this should have been talked about so long ago. I mean, these are pictures that have been around. This ain't new. Does anybody care? That's the question.
I care.
Does anybody care? Because I mean, look, I know these are hard things to talk about, man. You know, I know that nobody wants to act like. I mean, listen, man. You know, being a warrior means doing fucking the things you got to do, man. I mean, what do you do? What do we do? Anyway, come on. Let's continue. Let's try to get through this, man. Because I also want to bring up something else too that has to do with this, but it's very interesting as well.
Enough. During my search for more mainstream coverage of Rachel, this happened.
Wait, what happened? Go back. Let's read what that said, because I tried to read that before.
May have led some to the island
through
her modeling agency, the Midland Agency. And if I wasn't paranoid enough, during my search for more mainstream coverage of Rachel, this happened.
It looks like the results below are changing quickly. If this topic is new, it can sometimes take time for reliable sources to publish information. Come back later. All right, well, it's later. Let's see what it says now.
Yeah. We love Trump.com. I'm not going to that one.
I mean, I guess you can find information about her now, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what music they're listening to outside, but it's fucking horrible.
These are shocking posts from Balenciaga stylist. Yeah, I'm not gonna pull those up.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna pull those up. All right, but continue. Let's just get through this. Maybe got like 4 minutes left, 3 minutes left. It's all so disturbing. And it's like, this is just one company, people. Do you
So what did Balenciaga's celebrity ambassadors have to say in response to the controversy? Well, maybe the most well-known, wealthy, and influential would be Kim Kardashian, who released this statement, which many seem to feel was kind of a...
I have been quiet for the past few days, not because I haven't been disgusted and outraged by the recent Balenciaga campaigns, but because I wanted an opportunity to speak to their team, to understand for myself how this could have happened. As a mother of 4, I have been shaken by the disturbing images. The safety of children must be held with the highest regard, and any attempts to normalize child abuse of any kind should have no place in our society, period. I appreciate, I'm glad she added the period, because I wouldn't have known when that statement ended. I appreciate Balenciaga's removal of the campaign. It's nice to know you appreciate that. An apology. In speaking with them, I believe they understand the seriousness of the issue and will take the necessary measures for this to never happen again. Oh, people, aren't we lucky that Kim Kardashian is on the case? She is out there, boy, stomping for us, man.
And I gotta say, there's absolutely no way that she wrote any of these words.
There's no way she wrote any of these words. As for my future with Balenciaga, because we all need to know, what are you going to do now, Kim? I am currently, wait, where'd you go?
Sorry. You got it?
I am currently reevaluating my relationship with the brand, basing it off their willingness to accept accountability for something that should have never happened to begin with, and the actions I am expecting to see them take to protect children. What actions is that they stop molesting them? Because you know what? They do a lot to protect children if they would just stop fucking them. Because you can say fuck, you just can't say CP. So they would do a lot. They really can protect children. All these leaders can really protect children in a minute if they just stop fucking them and stop drinking their blood and stop torturing them for body parts. All right? Listen, you're going to get old one day. It's part of life. You fucking vampire. What the fuck? You and their actions that they take. So what do you mean? You're going to wait to see if they stop molesting children? I mean, not for nothing, Tim. Look at who they hire. They hired you as a spokesman. You became famous for... That's what you became famous for. I've seen the video, very well put together. It's probably the best self video I've ever seen of a couple getting busy, man. It was almost like you had someone else there with you. Very well produced. But you're a porn star. Mm-hmm. All right? That's what you are, and they hired you. And you're going to give them values? Not that I have anything against porn stars. I want to make that clear as well, too. You know what I'm saying? Do you? I don't have a problem with porn stars. I respect them. But I'm just saying, you know, once again, you're not in my conversation with me, man. You're just in some world. What are we looking at now, Brian?
I was just trying to deal with people. I was just trying to go back to the thing. I heard all you were saying. You were bashing Kim.
All right, let's go back to the fucking thing because Kim spoke to him. And the fact that you got to reevaluate it. How about you just drop him? Can't do that.
That's what some of the people were saying in the Twitter comments. They're like, the fact that you said you're a mother of 4 and you had any questions about not
any questions, them? She has to talk to them first. That's like, you know, mommy, you know, I went to Balenciaga and one of the photographers was sticking their fucking fingers up my dookie hole. He said he wanted to check if I had to use the bathroom. And you're like, well, let me see what they have to say about this first. Let me see what he says
about that. Maybe you really
let me see what their reasons behind this are. You know, let's find out what their reason. Maybe they got a good reason. Maybe they know something I don't know. I didn't know you're supposed to check for poop that way. I was stupid. I was waiting for it to come out in your diaper. Kim Kardashian, you fucking trollop.
Warm response as she addresses that there is definitely an issue, but fails to draw any kind of line as far as her future with the company. I'm aware there are probably contracts and a lot of money on the line, but many were quick to point out that her comments seem to ring quite hollow, as photos of her child surfaced showing them sporting the very items that Kim...
That's her kid, bro?
That's her kid, one of her kids, yeah. And this is after this whole shit took place, wearing that gorgeous head wrap. I don't even know what the fuck you would call that. I don't even know what you would. This person,
dude, usually that's what you put over somebody when you kidnap them. Right? Is that not what that is? I think that's
if you're stylish about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the proper term is a kidnapper's hood. I think that's what they call it.
Kidnapper's hood, yeah. A stylish kidnapper's hood. Are you all right? I'm very all right. They put a Balenciaga kidnapper's hood over me when they took me. They're treating me very well. I got a plush doll and everything.
Yeah, and Crocs, and they gave me Crocs.
Are they hurting you? Only for 8 minutes a day. Depends how much they pass me around.
Kim was now distancing herself from. Demna just copied and pasted the company's apology. I find it highly interesting that major news sites immediately reported on the scandal, labeling it as a conspiracy theory, when the company, representatives, and general public are all reacting to the situation like it is anything but a theory. People are worried for the children in the photos, of course, but if this is what they are showing you, what they are willing to put in front of public scrutiny, what are they hiding in the dark? Trying to wrap this video up feels very frustrating because, like many conspiracy theories, the rabbit hole is full of bad information, exaggeration, censorship.
He was like trying to close this. Here, hold on. Just listen to what he's saying.
In the dark. Trying to wrap this video up feels very frustrating because, like many conspiracy theories, the rabbit hole is full of bad information, exaggeration, censorship, and parts of it are just gone, memory hold forever. There is no answer, only an ever-expanding list of connections to dirty money, trafficking, seemingly overt occult references, and some of the worst predators we've ever heard of. Whitney Webb has described Epstein as middle management in a network full of people just as bad as him and worse. We only ever heard about some of the things he did, and some of the things his madam, Ghislaine Maxwell, did. When you start with BDSM bears with kids, immediately followed by CP Supreme Court document, immediately find associated characters that seem to be very interested in representations of children that are obscene and graphic. I guess you shouldn't be surprised to learn that the creative director of said company is 1 degree of separation from a known trafficking network. If you're paranoid enough, you'd almost think that there is an element within the company that makes these clothes only the rich can afford. Enjoy hiding Easter eggs, little nods and winks for the people with eyes to see, either to signal their friends or because they know people are watching, will react, and will eventually cause a media frenzy. Although this one went really far and seemed to work out poorly for the company, it still could have been a publicity stunt. What do you think of the ad campaign? Was it over the line, or are people well within their right minds to be upset over this?
mean, that's the same thing you're saying, not for nothing. He gave us 2 solutions, but it's the same thing. Was it over the line, or do people have the right to be upset about this? If it's over the line, then people have the right to be upset about it. Now, once again, we just look at this and you sit there and they go, you know, little Easter eggs, little this, little that. And then people, you know, you'll have those people that'll say, well, if they were doing this, then why would they put it in your face like that? Right? That's the argument. Well, how about this? How about you just lock them up?
Mm-hmm.
And then if they're not down with shit like that, they'll know good enough not to fucking pretend like they are. You want to, like, it's like they always say, like, for kids who want to play gangster, you want to play gangster, right? And then they wind up getting shot, or they wind up getting fucked up or going to jail and realizing that's not where they want to be. But that's what happens when you play gangster, right? Well, if you want to play child pedophile, I'm not, you know, if that's what you want to play, and you're not really that, then don't put that shit in your shit. Don't play around with it. Because if you do, you get locked up. That they should get locked up for that shit. You know, because there's enough. How much more do you need? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could fucking be into all your shit you want to be in. Not even that. You can't even be into that, man. Get the fuck out of here with that shit, man. Why you got all that shit there, man? When I'm not going to accept y'all. I don't give a fuck how much you try to censor me, how much you try to, you know, lower the age. I'm not going to accept y'all. Even if they lowered the age to 6 and that was legal, and I saw you with your wife in a fucking stroller, I'm not accepting you, dog. I don't give a fuck what the wicked government wants to say. I'm not accepting you. I don't have to. I don't want to. So I'm not. You child molesting piece of shit. All right? You fucking weirdo. You fucking creepy little fucks out there. Harming little children. And all you fucking parents that allow that shit. All you parents, even down to, like I said, I was on a low level where all they did was put kids in. But even those parents, you fucking little pieces of shit, selling your children, letting them undress in front of anybody, like that shit's all right. That shit ain't all right. That shit, listen, children are going to lose their innocence on their own, okay? Probably right after they find out about Santa Claus and they realize their parents are a bunch of piece of shits that have been lying to them, okay? That'll leave on their own. Don't fucking force it on them. Here's something I wanted to put up there too. I want you to see these cackling fucking whores on The View. Could you please put up The View's response to this whole Balenciaga thing? Could you just put in The View Balenciaga and then go to videos? It'll pop up. Please. I want you to see these cackling fucking whores, these fucking disgusting trollops. And how they talk about this right now.
All right, so you got to tell me what trial means, because it's the second time you use that word in the show, and it's the second.
Would you bring it up? Could you bring it up? Bring it up. Bring it up before we get into this, so people know what I'm saying, man. Bring up trollop.
Okay. A woman considered sexually promiscuous.
What's the one under it?
A woman prostitute.
There you go. That's the one I mean. Okay. Now let's get
a woman regarded as slovenly or unkempt. I think
the last
third
two
one.
is the one. Any one of them you want to pick, but I was going for the middle. But go ahead. Let's check out these cackling fucking whores.
Fashion house Balenciaga, a very, posh, is under fire for a controversial fetish-themed ad campaign featuring child models, okay? Balenciaga blames the production company for the ads. They have a kid posing with S&M stuff. But
hold on, pause that real quick. Now, do you notice her whole way
brushing it off? This? How she brushed it off?
Her whole
That's
body
what I would call that. Her brushed it off.
Whole, this little thing with children and BDSM, together in a picture. Go ahead, just brush. That's the first thing I just want y'all to notice. Who watches this fucking thing, man? Who thinks that this show is good for women? It doesn't paint y'all in a good light.
Featuring child models, okay?
Child
Balenciaga
models.
Blames the production company.
Hold on a second. Pause that once again. It's gonna be hard. It's only 3 minutes. It's probably gonna take 15 to get through. Child models. No, featuring children. okay, featuring children. And she's like brushing it off, people, like it's nothing. We're all making a big deal about this. I'm sorry. We're making a big deal about this.
So fashion house Balenciaga, a very,
Balenciaga,
posh, is under fire for a controversial fetish-themed ad campaign featuring child models, okay? Balenciaga blames the production company for the ads. They have a kid posing with S&M stuff.
Whatever.
But the set designer says Balenciaga executives were on the set. They knew what was happening. Are they taking a page from Trump's notebook and say, I didn't know.
Stop that.
I didn't know nothing.
Stop that.
I know.
Stop it. Any chance they get, what the fuck does Trump have to do with this?
Listen, bro. So I've been staying at my parents' house, right? So I've been watching the news with my father, right? And my father's into the shit. He thinks it's all bullshit, but you know, he's not trying to be bothered, right? And I respect his decision, right?
He's old. He doesn't have to be bothered. He's gonna live out his days without it really affecting him.
He's good, bro. He's good. He's got his retirement. He's got a nice house. He's got a great wife, and well, he's got one good son, and then he's got me. You know, he's got the pain in the ass.
Can't all be winners.
But me and him were watching it, dude, and we went from Fox, CNN, MSNBC, all the lead stories, and 3, 6, and 10. They're all leading with stories about Trump, a guy who hasn't been president in 2 years, bro.
In 2 years. I haven't even heard from him.
Dude,
I know he's doing his little thing, but
he's back on Twitter, bro, and he's not even using it. He's not even tweeting, you know?
Let's go back to these.
They got nothing, dude. This is their only argument.
But watch,
because nothing. I say nothing. I didn't know. I didn't know nothing. I know nothing. I say nothing. What's going on here?
I found this ad campaign particularly distasteful in this moment. So there's growing anti-LGBTQ.
She finds it distasteful.
In poor taste.
Look up distasteful for me.
Not wrong.
Please look up the word distasteful for me, please. Just look up the word distasteful, because I want to know to what degree, I want to understand to what degree she's actually offended by this, because she found it very distasteful.
Distasteful, unpleasant, disagreeable, objectionable or offensive, expression, aversion or dislike, unpleasant or disgusting to taste, nausea, loathsome, offensive, displeasing to the feelings, disagreeable.
All right. I guess it's an okay word to use. It just seems a little distasteful. I think it's a little worse than distasteful. I don't know. Go ahead. I guess it's the lightest word you can use. And why does she find it distasteful? Hold on, bring that back. You got to get from the beginning of that. Because why does she find it distasteful? Not because of the children, because of the timing. Pay attention. Look at this. Go ahead.
I know nothing. I say nothing. What's going on here?
I found this ad campaign particularly distasteful in this moment. So there's growing anti-LGBTQ sentiment right now, and how it's being framed is as portraying, trans people as groomers. This is a term you'll hear on the far right. They're groomers. This is where you get the anti-drag queen stuff that we're seeing. So Balenciaga played right into their hands by having kids in a sexualized manner, carrying something that represents, sex acts. I think it was a really bad misstep at a moment where it's just kind of...
How are they saying that children are representing the trans community, bro? This has nothing to do with trans people, bro. Not even in the slightest. Not even one single person on that set was fucking trans, bro. None of them.
No one even brought up trans. She's the first one to bring it up. Did I bring it up?
There's nothing transsexual about any of the stuff on here at all.
No. Did I bring it up? Did you bring it up? I didn't hear you bring it up.
Dude, we haven't talked about it in an hour and 20 fucking minutes.
I didn't bring it up. You didn't bring it up. She brought it up. And she's saying what's messed up. Why? This is why she finds it distasteful, though. This is why she finds it offensive and loathsome. Not because of the children, but because of the timing. Stop fucking fidgeting. Sit down. Have a conversation with me.
I can't, bro. I can't. I'm losing it, dog. I'm losing it. That did it to me, bro.
Have a fucking conversation with me.
I'm lost. I'm so uncomfortable, dude.
Take an Adderall and relax. Get focused. The thing is, so she starts off when she finds it distasteful, right? For the timing. And why? Because the LGBTQ is getting attacked. And Balenciaga played right into their hands. They played right into their hands, guys. Not because of the children or the pictures or the people that are attached to this company. No, but because it makes them look bad. That's what this bitch is saying. I don't even know who this bitch is. And I know that people don't like when they say bitch, but no, I mean that bitch. I don't know who this bitch is. This is not a woman. This is a bitch right here. This is a fucking evil trollop, which is the word of today, little boys and girls. Can you say trollop?
Please use it in a sentence.
We got to go through it again. We got to hear her say it again.
Let's just try to get through it unabridged. You know,
it's hard.
I found this ad campaign particularly distasteful in this moment. So there's growing anti-LGBTQ sentiment right now, and how it's being framed is as portraying, trans people as groomers. This is a term you'll hear on the far right. They're groomers. This is where you get the anti-drag queen stuff.
I have a feeling you are too.
So Balenciaga played right into their hands by having kids in a sexualized manner, carrying something that represents, sex acts. I think it was a really bad misstep at a moment where it's just kind of a dangerous time to even give credence to those kind of insane takes.
Yeah, I mean, we can't even show the picture because it's so distasteful. But what's also very distasteful is like Balenciaga lately. I mean, their stuff is just ugly. I mean, the bag that their little girl is holding is ugly. Do you remember when Kim K?
Please pause this. Please pause this. Please pause this. So the first one, trollop number 2, right? Because we went through it. Trollop number 2 says it's distasteful because of the timing and it makes the LGBTQs look bad. That's what she's upset about, not about the children. This one said completely, forget about the children. What about the clothes? The clothes are ugly. And they're all cackling like little hens, laughing. Because this is a laughing matter. It's so light. We're making a big deal out of nothing. Let's continue. Let's hear them giggle and her talk about how the clothes are the problem. Look at her face. Look at her.
She loves it. Look at that. Oh, she looks like a bat or something. I mean, so they are, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if their intent is to be subversive and draw attention to the issues, or are they just making ugly things?
What I don't understand is how they can sue somebody when they designed a bag for their holiday season. The bag is shaped like a teddy bear wearing bondage gear. Now, it takes hundreds of people. Ugly. It takes hundreds of people in a fashion house like Balenciaga to approve a design, to approve an ad campaign. So I'm sorry, you guys. I know you're trying to cover your ass, but you got bigger problems than. You got to look inside your house because you've got people who are not doing their job well and who have no damn common sense.
And anyone who's worked at...
Pause that. She almost scored some points. Trollop number 4, might be 5, I'm not sure, 4. She made some valid points, which is they can't step away from this and say, we didn't know. No, there's so many people involved. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to sell children's clothes. That was our number 1 brand was the uniforms. Plain white shirt.
Yeah.
Plain white shirt with a tie for school. That's what it was. And they take millions and millions and millions and they pour over these fucking photos, which ones they're going to use. Everything is purposeful and everything got to go through people to be approved. Everything.
Every step of the way.
Every step of the way. They don't just do this on their own. So she made a valid point. You know what I'm saying? But then she fucks it up by just saying that, the people that work for you, had no common sense. No, the people that work for them are groomers and pedos. That's what they are. At
minimum, right? At minimum.
I was going to try to say at worst and try to say that there's another or enablers. At best, they're enablers. At best.
They're complicit.
I'm not going to say everyone that works for them. I'm not even going to say they are. Listen, once again, I'm not going to accuse them of anything. We just put this out there, and you guys connect the dots yourself. Okay, let's listen, because the next person actually tries to make some sense here, and then look how they cut her off.
It doesn't take a fashion house. Any company you work in, we all complain of bureaucracy and how many nets and loops and how many eyeballs and lawyers and standards have to look at every single thing. There is no world in which that was not seen on the front end, on the set. Seen to approve the pictures.
They like the ugly stuff.
Yes.
So it's like been happening.
See how she took it away?
Garbage bag.
See what went on right there?
Shaped like a trash bag.
Look at this evil bitch.
It was $1,790.
Were they the potato chip
Look what she was focusing on. She's focusing on.
See that?
bag too?
Yes.
Oh my
See that?
God.
She started to talk about some shit. She started to get into it. Then right away she goes, "It's ugly stuff," and pulls it right out. This chick right here, boy, in the
Kim
white.
Kardashian was wrapped in crime tape that said Balenciaga from head to toe.
Oh, I don't remember.
It must have hurt to take off.
Maybe we're getting punked. I think maybe a trolling campaign
Is
for us
it
to say
a subversive
yes.
campaign?
But for the record, Kim Kardashian, who was the ambassador for this brand, is reevaluating her relationship with Balenciaga.
Yeah.
Okay, so just saying.
Oh, and I have.
And here we have a
Pause that. Did you see how she brushed off everything in the beginning about the children and all that? But then she stands firm on, well, just so you know, Kim Kardashian's on the case. So we're okay, because she's reevaluating. What do you think is going to be her conclusion after she reevaluates this thing, Brian?
I think
Brian,
she's gonna have the same conclusion that she had when she
Brian,
first thought about it.
let's make a prediction here. Let's do like they do when championship teams are playing, and both guys are sitting there and they're analyzing the teams, and they make their prediction as to who's gonna win. And let's analyze this for a second. What do you think after she reevaluates the situation? What do you think is going to be the outcome of this situation?
I think she will still be a supporter of Balenciaga.
Add another zero to the check, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the reevaluation. The reevaluation is you're going to have to pay me more if you want me to back you guys.
Pay me more, pay me more.
If you want me, I won't say nothing bad about you. I'll just pull out.
That would not happen on Rated G, bro.
Let's finish.
We
never pull out.
We post sponsors before they even pay.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the problem with any sponsors that come to fuck with us is we've been doing this shit on our own for the longest. So who gives a shit? You know, it's nice to make money off of it, but we've already proven we don't have to. You coming in after 100 shows, motherfucker. Anyway, let's get back. Let's finish this.
Balenciaga has apologized and is taking legal action against their production company, North 6, and set designer Nicolas Desjardins. An agent for Desjardins said everyone from Balenciaga was on the shoot and was present on every shot and worked on the edit of every image in post-production, adding that he is being used as a scapegoat and is hiring a legal team. North 6 has declined to comment on the allegation.
Okay. Now, is it possible we could find how much they're suing for? Is that possible? How much they're trying to sue for?
25 mil.
25 million.
In damages.
For damages, 25 million to a company who sells their clothes at like 600,000, shit like that, 66,000. Like the prices are crazy, right?
Yeah, they sold sweatpants for like $1,500.
Sweatpants for $1,500, but they're gray and it makes your dick look bigger. They come with a lump in them, a bulge in them, and they need those. You know what I'm saying? They need those. Believe me, they need those. 25 million. You don't think that's a little low considering the damages it's ruining your company?
It's not that much, dude.
It's ruining their company. What's their estimated value? What's the value of Balenciaga?
Well, I'm sure it's taking a hit.
No, I just want to know what the value is because I want to compare that to 25 million because it's saying in damages, and the damages are
51 million.
51 million. That's their shit. 51 million.
Yeah, they earn about 10 million a year.
So they ain't caking that much. Well, that's because they make ugly shit, like the chick said. I'm not going to disagree that they make ugly clothes. I'm not going to disagree with that. But that's not the fucking point. That wasn't the point. Bitch kept getting away from the kid. They didn't even talk about the kids, actually. If you think about it, they just kept going away from the whole thing about that being some sort of form of CP.
There's a couple things that I want to get into too. We can just run down some history. As my favorite thing to do is, right? And we'll just show some scale, right? All right, so this is Wikipedia, right? Balenciaga. So, you assume when you're talking about one of these companies, it's just one brand. But that's not how this shit works, So Balenciaga is actually a subsidiary of a parent company known as Kering, right? Kering has a bunch of brands, all designer, Balenciaga, Alexander McQueen, YSL, all very interesting, right? Balenciaga is also doing a lot of collaborations with Adidas, right? And Adidas just recently dropped Kanye over anti-Semitic comments, right? But the guy who's
because Adidas.
Exactly, and that's what I want to get into. Adidas was started by Adi Dassler, right? That's where his name comes from. Who is, of course,
is actually
from the Weimar Republic.
In case anyone's wondering, we call it Adidas, but the actual pronunciation is Adidas.
Adidas, because the guy's name was Adolf Dassler, right? And he was a German shoe manufacturer who his brother actually started Puma, which are both German shoe companies, right? And Adidas really got put on the map from the 1936 Olympics that took place in Hitler's Berlin, Germany, right? And it was actually very famous. Jesse Owens wore Adidas spikes and shattered all these records. So Americans started wearing Adidas shortly after that. And this guy kind of skated through, Nazism, and his factories actually got turned into munitions factories for support of the Nazis.
Interesting.
So I'm just saying there's history, you know what I mean? And, you look at these companies as current, but, Europe has a long history.
I mean, dude, listen, if you want to cancel all that shit, if you go back in all these major big companies, they'd all get canceled. They would all get canceled. You know what I'm saying? If you go back, if you really want to dig into all these major companies, these big, huge companies, come on, man. Especially when they started that long ago. That was founded in what, 1919, you said?
Yeah, I think it was a little later than 1919. I think it was in the 20s or the 30s.
I think it said founded in 1919.
Oh, did it?
I think I saw that. I don't know. How good are my eyes, man? Not that good. One's almost shut. And the other one's always almost shut. So I don't even know how I could see right
1919,
now.
1919.
I saw that right. Yeah, man. Anyway, people, once again, I'm not trying to look, I'm just putting the information out there. So, don't hit me with misinformation or nothing like that. This is just what it is. You come to your own conclusions of whether or not you should be upset about the children or the fact that they make ugly clothes or that you don't even give a fuck. And if you don't even give a fuck, that's kind of disturbing.
And
what are you going to say, my brother?
The plot thickens,
as it always does.
Owner of Kering, which is the parent company of Balenciaga, is a Frenchman by the name of Francois Henri Pinault, whose wife is none other than Selma Hayek, famous movie star who got into a scuffle with Harvey Weinstein on the set of Frida when she was performing in that. Convicted Hollywood rapist.
I actually just watched the documentary on him yesterday. Man. A lot of them chicks got away.
Got away, bro.
Yeah, a lot of them were able to get away without actually having to fucking do anything. They just had to see him naked and shit. But the smart ones ran into the bathroom and told him to put his clothes back on. I don't think all of them were that lucky. You know.
Interesting.
And then of course, you know, everybody's also talking about the interview on InfoWars with Ye. And I gotta be honest, man, being a conspiracy theorist that I am, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna say it, man. Either Ye is dead, either he's dead or they kidnapped him, right? And then they put him on this show where he's 100% covered up. Even the dude from InfoWars, what's his name?
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones says like 3 or 4 times, are we sure that this is Ye underneath the mask? You know what I'm saying? Because the truth is, we don't know. Like I'm saying, I don't know. It probably was. I'm just keeping it real. But being a conspiracy theorist that I am, if we're going to talk about wild conspiracy theories, here's my wild conspiracy theory. That was not Ye. It was some dude who does a Ye impression underneath the Balenciaga mask, and there's no way you could prove me otherwise. How can you prove that to me otherwise unless you show me a video of him about to go on and putting the mask on? If he showed up like that, if he showed up to the place like that, his hands are covered, so there's absolutely no real distinguishing thing we could look at to say that's him. And I'm not saying that it wasn't. So you can say, I'm saying this is my wild conspiracy theory. I'm not telling you to believe it. I'm not saying it's a fact. So YouTube, please don't fucking, you know, shut me down for that one. But I'm just saying, like, what if it wasn't Ye? You know, we had Jason Scoop on this fucking show. He does fucking impressions like a beast. You know what I'm saying?
Dog, this is not him, bro. Listen to his voice. Listen to his voice, bro. I just.
What if it's not him? That's all I'm saying. What if they like kidnapped them for a day?
This is InfoWars, right? So you got some info warriors on both sides of you, and you fought for us. You've been fighting this battle for a long time, Alex.
It's too high.
And we just got to salute you as a Christian and as American, because you paved the way to make braver soldiers like us today. It's like Terminator Part 10 happening right now.
He sounds like him, but I mean, look at him. Go back to that video a second. Go back and then pause it on him for a second so we can just see what I'm talking about here, people. In case nobody else is just even questioning it. I mean, let's keep it real. You're dealing with people. You're dealing with people that have unlimited supply of money,
right? So you got some info warriors on both sides of you, and you fought for us. You've been fighting this battle for a long time, Alex. And we just got to
no, right now, when it comes to that, pause that. How do we know that's him? How do we know that's like, how do we know? You can't see his face. He covered his hands. He's completely in a bulked up suit. Everything's bulked up. So we can't even like look at, I'm not going to lie. Even the mask looks a little padded, but that might be the way the mask is to allow you to breathe, I guess. You know, but how do we know that was Ye? Is it that crazy for me to say? I mean, even Alex Jones kept saying it. Is this even Ye? And you can say what he wants about the last lawsuit, but he's usually right about a lot of things. So my question becomes, is this even Ye? I mean, yeah, he's got a puffy face and shit.
What's up?
We made it happen.
We're in the building. Yes, sir.
Listen to his voice, bro.
So, what if something happened?
No, I believe that my calling.
Get one of his rants.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a void there. They need.
The fuck?
What are you doing? What made you decide to do that?
It was something that God put on my heart. And when I first thought of it, I just started.
This is dumb.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You know, I don't know. See, now you're claiming that his voice sounds different. It could be. Well, once again, if it's not, if it's not who they say it is, then his voice will sound a little different.
Yeah, dude, YouTube's removing clips.
Yeah, I felt like for a while, like when I listened to the long version of it, I think I watched the whole fucking thing. I'm not even sure. But when I listened to it, there were points where I felt like he didn't sound like him. There were points where I felt like he sounded like him, and then there were points where I was like, wait a minute.
What's the point you brought up to me too, bro, about Alex? You brought it up to me on the phone about Alex Jones.
About Alex Jones?
Yeah, and how he just got like he's in debt to the government for like $1 billion.
Yeah, he just claimed bankruptcy. He just claimed bankruptcy. And that's the thing. Yeah, he's under, like he's got some problems of his own. So I mean, I'm not this, listen, he bought it up on his thing. So actually, yeah, I was thinking for a second, what if Alex Jones was so much in a hole that they told him you're gonna put this fake Yeezy on your show, and and you're gonna just do an interview with him. But he brings up a couple of times, or maybe that's, I don't know. That's all. It's an interesting world we live in, no?
I guess, bro.
Don't you think so? Don't you think it's an interesting world we live in? But what if that's not Ye?
What if it's not?
Oh, I got to stop doing these things, man, because all this is doing is like putting permanent creases in my face. That's all it does.
It's the Kanye crease.
Nah, man, that's my Corona crease. It started with Corona. That's where it came. But then things have just escalated now where I'm constantly
creasing.
Yeah, But it started with the Corona, which, in case you haven't heard, people, Corona's getting ready to drop its second album. The sophomore album coming January 1st. They got a whole bunch of new stars on there. They got a bunch of new cameos. A bunch of new songs going to be coming out from it. And now the new thing they said is people should get vaxxed every 2 months. Originally, the chick came out and she said once a year or twice a year. No, she said 6 times a year originally. And then the very next day, I think the CDC came out and said that going forward, you should get your boosters and your vaccinations every 2 months. Forever. This is where we're at, people. I mean, if you want to stay safe, get your booster and live forever. You'll live forever. I don't even understand that shit, man. The other day, they fucked up when they came at me with health shit. You can't scare me with health shit. I don't take care of myself at all. At all. So you can't scare me with health shit. I mean, my health isn't at the best to begin with. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there with a cigarette. I remember one time some dude was smoking. He had a cigarette through his mask. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Fucking ridiculous. Walking around with big yellow stains on his mask. I think my mask was more deadlier to me than COVID. I think it's still in like one of my pants pockets or my jacket. I think it's one of my jacket pockets. I think I washed it twice throughout all of COVID.
That's foul.
Disgusting. Fucking gross.
I think we got to end the show, bro. I'm toast. That hurt, bro.
Did we fry your brain?
That was a hurtful episode, man.
Did we fry? You're the one who wanted to jump right into Balenciaga, dude.
We had to.
Look how high your hair is now. When you watch this back, watch how low your hair was when this fucking episode started. And now look at that Kramer-looking fucking quap on the top of your head. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's the stress level. Look, it won't go down now, dog. It's stressed out. That's how you can tell him Brian's stressed. His hair goes higher.
It's actually pretty funny. My mom always says that to me too. By like 6 o'clock in the afternoon, it's like sticking straight up.
Oh man. Well, dude. We're just trying to bring light to very unsettling situations that you have to. Yeah, look, you got to talk about it. You got to put the information out there. A lot of people don't know. Even now, I bet there's a bunch of people that are finding this out today from us. And if you're finding it out from us, that's crazy. But even though we have been first on some podcasts to come up with some shit, you know, I don't know how accurate we've been, but we definitely mentioned it first. You know, but you know, and we talked about that dude that got arrested, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did we talk about that on the last podcast?
Which one?
The dude from the Biden, the head of waste. And did we talk about?
Dude. All right, so this is actually a callback to one
This
of
is
our
a
other
fun story.
episodes about Sam Brinton, who
Sam
was
Brinton.
in charge of, I believe, of nuclear waste disposal.
Nuclear waste disposal
for the entire country of America.
Bring him up. Bring up a picture of him in case our listeners don't remember who we're talking about. We talked about him on the episode where we showed all the people who Biden has hired to work and take over. Look at this sane individual right here.
Dude, listen to this, bro. Listen to how this is. Samuel Otis Brinton is an American nuclear engineer and LGBTQ activist. They currently serve as the Deputy Assistant Secretary to Spent Fuel and Waste Disposition in the Office of Nuclear Energy. Brinton is the first openly gender-fluid individual in federal government leadership, uses they/them pronouns. And we've talked about this on the show. Me and Gary don't give a fuck whatever pronouns you want to use. We don't. We don't care. Right? Do we? Do you care?
I think a proper pronoun for him would be it. Why don't anyone use it? Like that would be a proper pronoun. It would, because I'm not gonna lie, he is gender fluid. He has me just as confused as he is. Can't tell, like when I look at him, I don't know what to call him. So I would say it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. All right. But that's who we're talking about. So now this gentleman works for, our government.
The Department of Energy. And specifically, spent fuel and waste disposition in the Office of Nuclear Energy. Which means, translation, he's in charge of getting rid of nuclear fucking waste. That's the translation.
Yeah.
Okay?
He's in charge of getting rid of nuclear waste. Okay. Well, this gentleman, this dude, right? This very confused dude, he went to speak at a convention that he was speaking at that was a very important convention too. It was extremely important. I think it had to do with spanking. And he went to this convention. He had to fly there. When he got on the flight, you could bring up the article so we can go right from there.
I'm trying to find the video, bro.
What video? Oh, of him.
Yeah.
Of him actually doing it. I don't think they released that. I don't know if they released that. I haven't seen that, but I've seen the articles on it. So this gentleman, and I say that.
Hold on. I'm gonna read this article, right?
Yeah. All right, Brian, take it away.
The Biden administration's non-binary nuclear waste guru was a presenter at a fetish conference in L.A.
That dealt with spanking.
Yeah, weeks after admitted stealing a woman's suitcase at the Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport. Last Saturday, Sam Brinton, Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Office of Spent Fuel and Waste Disposition, who could be facing 5 years for bag theft, presented a seminar, Spanking, from Calculus to Chemistry. The seminar was held at Westin Bonaventure Hotel and Suites in Los Angeles, where Brinton, 34, stayed on Friday and Saturday. The event was titled L.A. Leather Getaway and was sponsored by Claw Corp, a national leather charity. Whatever, cool. You're into the kinks. We don't care. This is a show of debauchery, This is
Dude,
really,
was he, what I care about? Was he flying on our dime?
Probably.
Okay.
Brinton, he's getting paid by us, so yeah. But he's allowed to do whatever he wants with his own money. I stand by that because that's what we believe on our that's our core value system here. Brinton, who was presented at the event under the pseudonym Nuclear Nerd, has been teaching their physics of kink classes at universities and community events across the country for years, according to their profile on Claw's website. The bio goes on to say they've been active in the kink world since 2013, host monthly kink parties in their dungeon in Washington, D.C., and estimated to have spanked over 2,000 cute butts. top government official advertises parties in his Washington, D.C. sex dungeon. Biden administration.
Oh, man. I feel very safe that these people run our government. I know that our nuclear waste is being handled properly.
But this doesn't really get into the stealing
But here's
the
the
suitcase.
thing. No, it doesn't. So we'll explain what happened. He got onto a flight with no bags. Just wrapping it up real quick. He got onto a flight with no bags. When he left that flight, he went to the carousel and he took a woman's expensive bag filled with her clothes and left with it. The lady, of course, said there was like $2,000 something in there plus clothes, and the bag was worth something as well. They went to the cameras and they saw him take the bag, right? Then later on that day, he posted pictures of himself with the bag on his fucking on his sites and shit. And then he left. And then when he came back, he left. He got back home. They didn't catch him until he came back again. And they stopped him at the airport and they caught him. And at first he denied it. He said that he thought that he took the wrong bag. That's what he said. He said he took the wrong bag. But you never got on with a bag. So you didn't take the wrong bag.
I got a weird news article from overseas that I think we should jump into real quick about this guy. You want to watch it for a second?
Sure.
Because there's some other stuff that ties into this guy that I think we might be missing.
Well, for more details, Ali Vaez joins us now from Washington, D.C. He's the director of the Iran project at the International Crisis Group. Thank you so much for being with us. I suppose the big question many people will be asking is, how close does this take Iran to possessing nuclear weapons?
Well, Iran has never been create an arsenal of the United States that they.
Okay, all right, never mind. I'm off. I'm sorry. Sorry.
You got us all pumped up for nothing.
Yeah, well, it was weird. I don't know why this video was here.
You got me all pumped up for nothing.
I'm sorry.
But anyway, getting back to what actually happened was he tried to say that he took the wrong bag. Then when he was confronted with the fact that he never came on with a bag, he eventually admitted that he stole the bag. And he brought the bag back and said that he had left the clothes at the hotel. Now, do you think I'd be far off to make an assumption, and this is just an assumption, that that's one of his kinks?
Stealing?
Are you going to tell me he didn't wear that woman's clothes? Are you going to tell me he didn't go back to the hotel and sniff her panties and wear her clothes? I'm just saying, I would think so, right? He's there for kinks. That seems like it's a kink. That's what it seems like. He probably does that a lot. He probably just steals women's bags a lot. I mean, this is just an assumption. This is just my theory. Do not take me on my word or nothing. This is just me talking and, thinking that he's going there. He spanked over 2,200 butts. I'm thinking, yeah, he's probably into stealing women's clothes and trying them on, laying them out on the bed and masturbating on them or some crazy shit. I don't know what those fucking weirdos do. I mean, be weird. But here's the thing. Now he's suspended, right? But don't you think it's crazy that that's what got him suspended? You don't think the fact that he had pictures like that on his Instagram and on his Facebook, that should have got him suspended? You don't think, like, if you're a cop and you take a picture, a sexy picture, if you're a female cop and you take a sexy picture wearing anything of your uniform, I think you can get fired for that, but you're definitely getting suspended. You're not allowed to wear that shit. So there is a thing of, you got to be able to represent the company, which is the United States, and they're supposed to have an image to upheld, but apparently this is the image they want, because he got suspended for that. He didn't get suspended for owning a dungeon. Like, you could do what you want, but once it's out there that we know you own a dungeon, don't you think you should not be affiliated with the company of the United States of America?
You would think.
Right? Like, I mean, every company, right? Isn't that why people get fired? Isn't that why Adidas and Balenciaga all dropped Kanye? Because of the standard of the company, and he went against that standard. So, the company of the United States, you are an employee of the company of the United States. All that other shit he was doing went against the standards. And, well, I guess not anymore, but the standards that we used to have, and that didn't get him suspended. This got him suspended. And mind you, this didn't get him suspended until it made the news. Once the news started picking up on it, then it got suspended. Because I read about this shit. I sent this shit to you a while ago.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
It wasn't until mainstream media picked it up. And I don't even know how they're reporting it, but they're probably trying to make him look like he did nothing wrong, of course.
Yeah, I mean they're not saying if he is still getting paid or not. No one's come out and said that.
Oh, I don't know if it's paid leave or, well, if it's suspension. I would think it's unpaid, but I don't know. But I know he's been suspended. That I read somewhere, and I think I heard it on something too, on one of my fucking conservative sites. I try to watch the other sites too, but it's such nonsense. I can't get through it.
I know.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's such nonsense. I can't even get a different perspective of it. That's because there is no different. They have no argument. They have no fucking argument. Why? Why do they find it so important to teach this stuff to children? Why do they find it so important to involve children? And why? What is the reason?
I don't know, bro. I can't answer
that it has, like, why are you upset that we're upset? Well, why can't we have them? Why do you need them? What do they bring to the table for you guys? You sick bastards.
Man, I'm digging to try to find the surveillance video, but I can't find shit.
You're not gonna find that, though. You're not gonna find that. It would be fun to watch, though. Seeing this bald-headed freak fucking walking up to the carousel and waiting for the perfect bag that tickles his fancy. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do we have satanic people? People who like, where do you... Ladies and gentlemen, I know that this has been a rough episode. It's been rough for you guys. And if you're still here listening to us, man, believe me when I say I appreciate it. And the fact that you were interested in it and stuck through it and didn't go, oh, Brian and Gary are talking about that child shit again. I don't want to hear this. The fact that you didn't say that and you stuck through this whole podcast means you're one of the warriors on the right side of the fucking field on this one. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because this shit is very important. You know what I'm saying? And when I look at what I can do, all I can do is just share the information and just make people aware, because the more people that are aware of this stuff, and you'll see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll see it a little more, like I saw with the hocus pocus. Like, you start to see that they're putting stuff there and you know what you're dealing with. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And like, you're able to put together the dots. Like, like I said, I'm not going to make no things, but I do know that every time we talk about CP, the beautiful company of Disney pops up into those conversations. They were nice enough to go scuba diving over on, Epstein's Island. And, you look at those things and you just wonder, why the fuck do all these people, well, we know why. You just got to figure it out now. I know why. Brian, do you know why? Do you know why all these people hang out? You don't? I do.
I can take a guess, but I don't.
Really I do. I know why they hang out. But you guys can figure it out on yourself. I'm not going to put it out there like why they allow this and why, figure it out yourself. But like I said, if you stuck through it, man, this is an important thing, especially if you have kids, people. Especially if you have kids, pay attention. Ask your kids what's going on in school. You know what I'm saying? I just saw this thing the other day where a parent, look how high his hair is, where a parent had to like jump through mad loopholes because one of the teachers was taking her kid out after school without her permission. And they attacked the parent. The parent had to like go through all these things before they finally said, we will investigate. And that's where it is, that they're investigating the situation. Meanwhile, the parent has voice recordings. And then the teacher had the nerve to call up the parents and leave a voice message screaming on them about how he shouldn't have been recorded without his knowledge.
It was to a drag show.
I didn't even know that. This teacher took the kid to a drag show. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I mean, this is an older thing that I found.
Oh, that's another one. Well, I mean, it could be an older thing. I just saw the person talking about it, the parent. I saw like the parents had a couple of TikTok videos up about it. And it's just amazing how like the school right away didn't go, what? I mean, is everybody priest now? Does everybody get that priest standard that they don't fire them now? I used to think that only worked in like for priests. I only thought that priests were the only ones that were allowed to stay and get moved around. I thought that regular people would get fired for shit like that. Yep. Just that alone. You took my kid out one day. You could have took him to fucking, my kid could have said he was hungry. I'm hungry and I'm not even going to eat till dinner now because he chose to trade his lunch or whatever. And you said, oh, let me bring you to McDonald's after school so you could eat something before dinner. No, that's grounds to get fired. You didn't ask me. You took my kid after school to McDonald's? The fuck are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
But we're not allowed to call them groomers. Then what do you call them? Perverts? I guess perverts is what you call them. You know, I don't know. People ask me what I do. I'm a comedian, people. What I do. I'm a comedian, man. This is the seriousness of my mind right here, man. This is just, what do you want me to tell you? Somehow I have to go on stage and talk about this stuff and try to bring some sort of awareness to this stuff and try to make it funny. But it's not. I guess I got to go on The View to see because they were laughing pretty hard.
Do you think they'll support you onto the show? I mean, I'll try to get you booked, man. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Oh my Lord, I wouldn't even go on The View, dude. Because the thing is, one, I know the episode wouldn't get aired.
Yeah.
It would just be a complete waste of time for me because the episode would not get aired. You know what I'm saying? It would not get aired. Those women are the worst that women have to offer. Yeah, I need some better spokesmen, ladies, because that's the worst. All of them. They're horrible. Horrible host. Horrible human beings.
Horrible people.
Just horrible. You know what I'm saying? Fucking perverts.
It's a sick world we live in, my friend.
Guys, if you want to catch me on a lighter note, then you're probably better catching me on stage. And if you want to catch me on stage, then you can catch me at AC Jokes in Atlantic City at Tropicana. Go to acjokes.com and check out the lineups. I'm there every Wednesday through Sunday. I'm there. And if you want to catch me on Mondays in New York City, I have the Not Quite Tuesday midnight show over at the Grizzly Pear every single Monday. Go check me out over there, man. It's always a banging show, man. But it's only for the cool, and it's only for the rebels, and it's only for the people that know how to chill. So, if you're not one of those people,
you can't
you can't come. You're not even invited. This is only for the cool people. You know what I'm saying? This is that shit right there, man. Only for the warriors. And that's at midnight every Monday at the Grizzly Pear. You can catch me on the 8th. December 8th, I will be doing my brother and comedian in comedy, Adam Gable. I'll be at the West Side Comedy Club doing his hour recording.
Oh, I thought it was at the Pear. It's not at the Pear?
No, it's at the West Side Comedy Club, dog.
Okay, I was mistaken. All right.
Yeah,
nice,
yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. Brian will be there, man. I'll be there. Come down, man. Come see me perform. I'm going to be performing, opening up for him. And come see him do his hour, man. I would love if you guys came out and supported us. That would be awesome. And also come check me and Brian, man. If you're just a listener and want to come meet us, come check us out, man. That would be dope.
We'll be there.
And we'll be there. And we'll be happy to chill and talk and sign your face. I'll bring a Sharpie. We can sign your face. You can follow me at Gary G. Garcia on Instagram, Facebook. And you can follow Brian at Brian the Video Guy. You could also follow Rated G. We got our own page now on Instagram. Follow Rated G for clips and all kind of fun things and cute little memes and all kinds of stuff like that. And if you want to support the show, then baby, if you haven't done it already, subscribe, like, hit the little bell. You know, you hit that little bell, and then, you know, someone will come and let you know whenever a little midget comes to your house, knocks on your door and lets you know there's a new episode of Rated G that you can check out. All right. Or buy a mug. In fact, if you're not going to do any of the other 3, buy a mug.
Buy a mug.
It's Christmas.
Yeah.
Buy 6 of them and give them to the people you love. All right. Give them to your ignorant friends to let them know that the only reason why they're adorable is because they're as ignorant as me. Because it's my ignorance that makes me adorable. Thanks for watching, man. That's another episode of Rated G, baby. Peace.
Peace.